My daily driver is a 987.2 Cayman base model, and I've really driven it a lot. It's got over 105,000 miles on it. It's a 2009 model. So it's needing a little bit more attention than it has. And one of the things that I noticed really needed to be replaced was the air oil separator. And I realized this because I was getting some smoke at startup. The idle was getting a little bit rougher, and those are all indications that the air oil separator really needs to be changed. And you want to do that before it fails, because if it does fail, you could have a much more costly engine repair. So here's how I did it. The first thing you're going to do is take off this luggage net. And that's just pretty simple. Just do it on all four corners. You'll need to pry something in here to start lifting the carpet pad up. Once you get it started, it just pops right out. Okay, once the carpet is freed up, you just pull it out and it reveals the engine cover. Now we just take out the engine cover screws with a Torx 30. And once you have all of the bolts out, you just lift up the cover and there it is. Now what you have to do is move these rubbery covers off to reveal the screws there so that you can take the handle off. Both sides. You need a trim tool like this to pry up under the trim and release the clips. You're gonna have to lift up to get these clips out, and once you do, the piece comes out and you can proceed. You're gonna take out these little screws, trim screws, so that you can get at the carpet pad. And once you work the carpet out, you take this out as a panel. And now that the carpet's off, you just have to take out these 10mm screws. This panel just pulls right out, revealing front access to the engine. Here's the air oil separator. Now notice on the 987.2, it's a much simpler design. These O-rings just make the seal into the engine. There are no extra clamps or anything else like in the earlier versions of this. And notice that there are two bolts that hold this unit into the engine, and it goes like this. So this bolt will be accessed through the front access, and this one you're gonna have to come in through the top with a long extension to get this bolt out. Here we are in the engine compartment, and the AOS is right here. It's this diaphragm looking thing, and you can find it by just tracing this hose all the way back here. It terminates here, and what we're going to do is pull the connector off. You got to kind of pinch and pull and twist at the same time, and that's it. And then I'm going to also pull it out of here, so that's now off of there. Now we're going to come inside and look at the other attachment points. Now I have my wrench, my Torx socket on the bolt that's holding the AOS in. I'm just going to take that out. I'm going to be really careful towards the end because I do not want it to fall into the engine. And there's one of the screws that holds the AOS in. It's a long one, so just be prepared. Now I'm also going to remove this Torx bolt, just holding this little wire loom, and the reason why I'm doing that is so that I can create some space to take the AOS out. Now for the top one, kind of at an angle and a little bit under here, so I'm just going to use a long extension, get myself on it, which I am, and then we'll start to take it out. Now you can see in there that the bolt is loose. Now I'm going to use a magnet to just get the bolt out. Here it comes. Now what we're going to do is just rock the AOS to pop it out of the little holes that it's in. Just got to wiggle it. Be patient. There it is. It's free of the engine now. Now getting the air oil separator out of the engine once you've freed it is a little bit challenging. It's a bit like a bar puzzle where you have to get it at just the right angle and then slip it through.
So you kind of wiggle it through like this, lift it up, this round part kind of down, and there it is. It's a little bit of a bear to get out, but that's how you do it. It's going to go back in the same way it came. Now looking down into it, you can see the holes where the AOS goes back in.
Now here's the new unit, your part number. And you'll see that it's got the O-rings which go into those holes. Really only goes one way. You can see they're two different sizes. Now we're going to coat these with some motor oil. Just to make sure that they go in pretty smooth.
Put this in the same way it came. A little bit of a rotation. Go this way and then you twist it, and now it's kind of in position. Now I just have to rotate it around while it's in there and get it into the right spot. You can see that it's just seating in there. I'm going to make sure it's seated on the other side as well, and then just push down and get these bolts back in, which will really push it the rest of the way. Now the unit's back in and bolted up tight. So now all that remains is reattaching this bracket here and then putting this hose back onto the AOS.
Now that everything's together, I just clean up the top of the engine a little bit and put all the covers back on. As they say, the installation is the reverse of disassembly. So it's really not that hard to work on these cars. You just need a little bit of guts, some tools, some time, and be willing to scrape your knuckles. That's pretty much it. If you like the content on my channel, please favorite it and subscribe and click the little bell so you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks a lot. Be safe and enjoy.